Good morning, everyone. Happy 2026. This is the first Colour With Me Colour and Chat that I'm doing for this year. So this is the January Colour and Chat. If you don't know, I like to try and do a Colour With Me, Colour Along With Me, Colour and Chat once a month. I try my best. However, if it often doesn't work out that way, I do apologise that I missed out on the December Colour With Me. December just got really hectic with, like, emotionally and with Christmas and all the social events, and you know, I was working shift work as a nurse, so it actually just got a bit too much, and I found myself having no time to do the December Colour and Chat, which is, I'm very mad at myself at, because I had such a good colouring book that I was going to use. It was a Grinch colouring book, and that would have been a lot of fun to use for the December Christmas Colour and Chat. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're here now. We're here in January. And today I have a bit of time. So as you can see, I'm using the Pop Manga Catitude colouring book by Camilla Derrico. This book is so, I love it so much. Like, I'm a cat person, and this book is cute and it's funny and it's, oh my gosh, I love it so much. So I couldn't help myself. We have to colour in this book. And the art supplies I'm using today is my very bougie Paul Rubens watercolour. I'm hoping that this paper will take watercolour, so we'll see what happens. But I'll just show you these. I've only used these like twice before. So I thought for the new year, let's dig into some very lovely watercolours. Now, of course, these are a bit pricey, so you don't have to use the pricey ones for watercolors. You can obviously use whatever watercolors you want. I'll just show you these ones. I couldn't help myself when I bought these. A whole bunch of colors here, and that is my swatch page that I've done. Anyway, so I've got those, and then I've got my Arteza color pencils for shading and whatever I feel like doing. And of course, I have my water bowl here. So I'll just get set up and we will get started. All right, I have things set up, and this is the little kitty cat we are going to do, or going to colour today. I couldn't help myself. Like, look how funny this is. The poor cat looks like a drowned rat. He's caught in the rain, the poor thing, and he's not happy and he's grumpy. And I think this will be a lot of fun to colour. So here are the swatches, and I want to start with A339, which would be this color here. So that's the color of my kitty I want to do. We'll just start with laying down the base colors of everything. And if we get, I reckon, this size brush. Just water it up a little bit, just activate it because it's been a while. I'm just gonna, oh, that's too dark. Now I know it may look a little bit sloppy, but promise you once we get like the shading in and everything, it'll all come together. His ears to be a little bit darker. And then I want the center of his face to be a bit lighter. And we'll fix all the furry bits up after. I'm still not the best with watercolor, like I really haven't found my groove with it, so to be honest I'm just kind of winging it today and we'll see how we go. Poor kitty. I'm just going to paint all that. I know it looks really messy at the minute, but this is a matter of trusting the process. The good thing about it being so hot here in Australia is things will dry so much quicker. So if you have washing or if you're painting, things will just dry hopefully quicker. Alright, so we'll let our friend dry and then we'll be back. That's dry, and I'll just turn over because it actually doesn't go through to the next page, which is really good. So this paper, I mean, it is on the thicker side, but obviously, you know, any watercolor you use, the paper will go a bit crinkly, but that's fine as long as it doesn't leak through. I mean, I would really like to use my alcohol markers on this, but unfortunately Camilla does all her books double-sided, but that's okay. There is plenty of other art supplies than alcohol markers, and this gives me a good chance to use my watercolors. Now, while that was drying, I made myself a cup of coffee because your girl needs it today, and I don't care, doesn't matter how hot it is, there's always room for coffee. That's the good stuff. So our next bit of watercolor adventure will be the puddles here, and I'm going to use this blue here, which is E304. Well, it's going to be a mix of blues really, because I want to kind of do like a medium blue and then a darker blue, and I'll show you what I mean. The brush I want to use, I think we'll go the bigger one. Going to fill it in roughly because I do want this to be watery, if that makes sense at all. Oops, I should have got a protective sheet at the back. Anyway, guys, I hope you are all having a great start to the new year. And I hope everyone had a really good Christmas as well. Like I said, I do apologize that I'm a bit late with this. And I would have had the Christmas discussions with you in my December color and chat. But my emotions and my time and my social energy got the better of me. And then I'm just getting a darker blue and kind of, I don't know, just dabbing a few dots there, and we'll see how that goes. Oops. Just spreading it around actually. Kind of just letting it do its own thing, letting the water go where it wants to go. Oh, it travels. Will it travel? Oh yeah. Just move that bit along there. Yes, they're going to be very dark puddles. Look at our first colour. It's a beautiful blue. I do remember the Paul Rubens paints being very bright when I used them a while ago. So smooth and just lovely. And yeah, like I said, I thought I'd be a bit bougie today as I haven't played with my Paul Rubens for a while. You know, if you spend all that cash, you've got to use your toys. Alright, and we'll just do the same with the darker bits here. Now I wonder if I remove the paper, if it'll spread like, oh yeah. Probably not as much. Sorry, I know this looks really weird. I'm trying to move the ink, the watercolor around. Maybe if I get a bit more water. This may not look like water drops, but I'm just experimenting today. Just trying to move the watercolor around, because I don't want this to be a neat picture at all, because our kitty cat's looking rough, so the water has to look rough, and you know, I don't mind if bits and pieces go out of the line as well. And like I said, I'm just getting the base color down, and then I'll get my color pencils and maybe some acrylic markers or gel pens just to tidy it up a bit. But at the moment, I'm just kind of just fiddling around with the watercolor. Using watercolors, very relaxing. I forgot how relaxing it can be. Yeah, as I was saying before, how was everyone's Christmas? I hope everyone was safe and it was wholesome. I actually did a shift at the hospital, so I worked, which is fine. Like, I did a morning shift, and then I just went to my auntie's house, and to be honest, I just ate and drank a whole lot, and it was wonderful. And it was wholesome, just spending time with family and family friends, and I am very lucky to be surrounded by the people that I am surrounded by. Yeah, lots of beautiful food, and yeah, I'm a very lucky person, and it was lovely. Drinks were flowing, food was being eaten, and it was a good time. Let's do this one. Ooh. Just trying to make everything blend nicely. Sometimes with watercolor it's a little tricky, but I have to find my groove with it, like I said. Okay, so we'll let all these dry, and then we'll be back. We're all dry with our puddles, and now I'm just kind of, I don't know, darkening certain bits and just fiddling with the watercolor a bit more. There's no real kind of method or logic here. I'm just kind of, I don't know, darkening certain bits, but I will still go over it with my colour pencil. And just trying to smooth out bits as well. And hopefully it'll all just dry down nicely. And it's all the same colour brown. I haven't gotten any other colours. The thing is though, I do have to be a little bit careful, because if you add too much water in an area, the water will start to kind of break away a bit. And on my brush, I'm just grabbing like the tiniest bit of water. Any bits that I really want to find though, I'm going to get my either a really dark brown pencil or black, because I really want to emphasize that this kitty looks like a drowned rat. Yeah, you know what, I might actually get the colour pencils out now and make it a bit more defined. Let's leave the watercolor now and we'll get the pencils out. I'll just let this dry. Okay, this is how we're looking so far. I have my color pencils ready. These are the Arteza, is it 72 color pencils, and oh, watch this. And I have them in a pencil wrap, which I just found off Amazon. So let me put them here, and let me just see what color pencils I like, the colors I want to use for Kitty here. I've selected these 4 colors. So this is dark chocolate, espresso, white quartz, and the black, and I'm just sharpening them at the minute in my cool like electric pencil sharpener. I want to show you guys how this works, even though you know how electric sharpeners work, but it's so cool. I found this one on Amazon as well, and it's going to make a bit of noise, so if you don't want to hear it, I suggest you, I don't know, turn the volume down or skip ahead. But you just put the pencil in, and look how sharp it gets it. I've actually never had an electric sharpener before. I know this is nothing new. These have been around for years and years, but it makes such a difference, and you can set the sharpness of the pencil there. But it just, yeah, it creates a nice point. Let me sharpen the other 2 pencils and I'll be back. So these are all ready to go, and I don't know, I just get excited by a sharp point. I know it's really stupid, but we all get excited by different things. I'm going to start shading Kitty, and I'm going to get maybe my espresso and just go over the bits that I want shading and the bits that I want to kind of make a bit more furry. And I am keeping in mind that he's a wet kitty, so we want to make him look like he's drowned. Well, not drowned. We don't want cats to drown. But, you know, when fur and hair gets wet, what happens? It gets darker. So I'm just going over bits here. And then I'm going to get the black pencil, and the bits that I want really dark, oops, we're going to just fill that in. Maybe just outline certain bits. Just really roughly, because I want to keep the fur bit happening. And the espresso. So it's just going to be a mix of espresso and the black pencil. Yeah. And his nose, let's go up here. He has to have a bit of a nose here. And these pencils work really well over this watercolor. So let's darken these bits. I'm just going in all sorts of directions with the line, and then darkening certain bits. This picture's making me laugh. Let's bring that fur out. go over her lines here. So she actually has some shaded bits here. I'm just going over those bits with colour pencil. And I'm not being neat at all because, like I said, I want this kitty to look rough, and he's having a rough day, which we can all relate to. And actually, this espresso pencil blends in nicely. Okay, I'm going to finish Kitty off and then I'll check back in with you guys, but I'm not going to do anything different. I'm going to still use espresso and noir pencil. Here is what we're looking like. I don't know if you can notice any difference, but I've just gone and darkened certain bits, and now I'm just lighting certain bits with my white pencil, and I just did a little trial bit on the puddle here. And I'm just kind of going over it and just highlighting bits. With the white pencil. I just want to see how this turns out. Probably won't be able to notice much. And I just want to go over here as well. I don't know if this will make any difference. I will just lighten certain bits. I know, just to make it blend more nicely. I don't know if this will work. I don't know. I might just have to do a lot of back and forth. And his paws. That is my cat's tail, by the way. She is lying right next to me on my desk. And then I'm going to find a blue for the raindrops here. For the blue raindrops, it is going to be Aegean blue. And nothing fancy, just gonna fill these in. Just so you notice the raindrops there. And look, I know rain isn't blue, but it just adds a bit of, I don't know, pop of colour. I've just got my white Ohuhu acrylic marker because I did his whiskers black, but I actually want them to be white. So I'm just very carefully go over the white whiskers here. My hand isn't the steadiest. And I'm just outlining where Camilla had the whiskers. Bit wonky with the whiskers, but that's okay. Now for the background, I want to make it dark and miserable. I should have done the background before, but that's fine. We can work with it. Let me decide what to do. Hi guys, this is future editing Mona here. I am so sorry about the chippy choppiness, but when I was editing this video I didn't realize certain parts of it had cut out and the battery died and it stopped filming, and I didn't realize where it stopped filming, so it actually missed out on a big chunk of when I was doing the grey background archway thing. So obviously I can't get that footage back, but I can tell you the colours I use because that was included in that bit. So the greys I used was pewter, charcoal, sorry, it's not focusing properly, and my noir Arteza pencil. So they are the only three colours I used for that archway bit, but I'm so sorry that I lost the start of that footage. Okay, thanks, bye. Sorry, I think the camera cut out, but I just got the black pencil and just darkening it even more. And I hear the truck. I'm actually getting a parcel. Yes, I did get a parcel, and I'll just show you guys. It was a small delivery. It's just a book, and it's by Andy Weir. I absolutely loved his books of The Martian and Project Hail Mary. Loved those books. And one of my friends told me he's actually done like another book, or he's probably done many books, but they told me if I like The Martian and Project Hail Mary, then I'll like this one. I don't know if it's part of the series or like if it's a trilogy, I don't know, but I am so excited. Oh, there's maps and things. That's so cool. Anyway, I really enjoyed his books. So I'm very excited to have received it. And of course, all my books I get, or most of my books I get off Amazon. So I just thought I'd share my little delivery today. Very exciting times. Right, back to it. Blend, blend, blend is the key, as I always say with colour pencils. What I'm going to do is finish the backgroundy bit and then I'll check in with you guys. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side, but it might just take a while for me to blend it all. So I'll be back. This is how we're looking so far. And I decided to add another background element of these, I don't know, these little hashtaggy things. I don't know what you call them. But I thought I'd just add a few here. I don't know what this adds. I just feel like adding something to it. So we're just going to do these randomly. I mean, I guess it kind of adds to the grungy wetness effect. I won't do too many because I do get carried away with things. Just with my black pencil. And then what I'm going to do is add a bit of shadow to the water puddles here. I might get my pewter pencil and just add the shadow. Actually, maybe charcoal. Charcoal's a bit darker. And just add the shadow bits here. I don't know if you can notice that at all, but just some very rough shadow work. Right, I am going to call this finished now, guys. I actually liked how this turned out. I like how it's messy and there's no neatness to it at all. Well, there is a little bit of, I guess, structure and neatness, but otherwise, you know, you just let loose with the watercolors. And it's actually been so much fun. And I loved how my color pencils shaded on top of it as well, of the watercolors. And it was, yeah, this kitty's having a miserable day, and sometimes you can just relate to that. So I'm going to finish here, guys. Thank you for joining me with this color and chat, and I will hopefully see you very soon. Bye.